guys, we're back again. UFC, I don't know what number this is, but it's Duncan versus Moicano in the Apex. So yeah, we'll move ahead. Again, this is one of the worst cards we've had in probably a very, very long time. So I'm not honestly, this is going to be one of the shorter episodes because there's physically nothing for me to talk about. We're going to quickly get through this. The only fights that are interesting on this card are Chris Duncan and Tabaricci. That's basically it. They're the only two fights that really make me interested. This reminds me a lot of COVID matchmaking, where the UFC were forced to use American talent because they didn't have anything else, because this is a really, really, really poor level of guard by them. Possibly one of the worst they've done this year, and maybe one of the worst they've done the last 5 years. Now, to be honest here, it seems like they might have sat down and take a tab of maybe acid or smoked a big joint, smoked a big blunt, because to be honest, this matchmaking is horrendous. It's just basically, you lose, you're gone. But look, enough of me shit talking, let's just get down to the lock of the week.
There is Iron Azamat
Yes, this week's lock of the week is going to be Azamat Barakayev. Right, if we go over here and we go to the window capture in here, I want to go to UFC stats because I think this is the most realistic place where I can break down this lock. So I'm going to go under 1.5. As you can see, the average fight time for both is 5:34/8 minutes. Now, Tyson Gore's 8 minutes is, yeah, okay, fair enough. They both basically Tyson Gore is taller, he has the switch against orthodox, meaning that he'd be on the inside. The more strikes obviously goes in Azamat Barakov's favour, Bakayev's favour. He has the more striking, obviously he has the higher takedowns. And again, you can see who they've lost and won by. I'll quickly just go to, break it down. Azamat Barakayev has not gone to decision with a lot of people. Realistically, in his last 4 fights, it's been round 1, round 2, and he was finished by Yusir Belgari. Strangely, people find this as a sort of fraud check, but again, Belgari is one of the better kickboxers. He's trained with Pereira, he's trained with Izzy, he's fought basically the best kickboxers in the world. You saw it last week when he finished that. He is a realistically unbelievable kickboxer. We move over to Tyson Gore's 5-4, and look, he's 2-4 in the UFC. He's gone to this decision with Rafael Vieira. Okay, Marcus Tulio finished him in round 2. He did submit Anthony Tocoli in the first round, and Josh Floyd getting finished in the first round by Cody Brundage in 2022 is a bit shit. I'm not gonna lie here. I think Tyson Gore gets ran through here. Tyson Gore, I don't think is on the same level of Bakayev at all. This is strange matchmaking yet again. Bakayev under 1.5. I think this will be finished pretty quickly, and I don't think there's gonna be much question behind it. I think this fight's gonna be done very fast, and that's gonna be the lock of the week. Again, let me just move over here. We're not going to waste too much time, as 13-10 under 1.5. That's what I can see. So we'll move down to the favourites. Now, the favourites is actually be different this week because I'm going to go no distance in the majority of fights, because again, as I've said, this seems like the most lazy matchmaking they've done. And yeah, this is realistic. Bakayev, I said, obviously I think he's trying to run through him at 1-2 no distance is crazy fucking odds to me. I don't know where that came from. Next, we move into Lando Vieira versus Darius Flowers. Now again, Darius Flowers is 0-3 in the UFC. I'm actually not sure really what happened here. He's 0-3. He's lost to Evan Ander, Michael Johnson and Jake Matthews. 2 finishes out of those. The only real distance he went with somehow was Michael Johnson. He's fighting Lando Vieira. Now, Vieira hasn't fought in almost 3 years. His last losses to Darius, who were by decision. He got choked out by Charles Jourdain. He did beat Gundy, a few different people, but they're years ago. He's lost to a lot of people, and he's beaten a few, but it's years ago. This seems like one of these ones where the UFC probably just remembered that Lando Vieira's been, he's alive. He has 2 fights cancelled. I know he's been injured, but they probably just remembered he's alive. It's literally been nearly 3 years since he fought, so they just remembered he, still exists. He's still alive. Might as well give him Darius Flowers. Might as well just go for it. I don't see this going the distance. I don't even really see this making it out of round 1, and I'm not going to pick either one to win because either one could easily get finished here, and I'm not going to really make that call. Next, we move into Alessandro Costa's fighting Stuart Nicoli. Now, look, personally with this one, Costa's kind of odd because Costa has only gone to decision once inside the UFC, and oddly of all things, it was with Steve Ercik. He's been able to finish Kevin Bajejas, he's able to finish Jimmy Flick. He got finished by somehow a man Albazi. Of all people, I wouldn't have expected that. And he got finished by Alan Crowley. don't think he's exactly a very, very high level fighter, but he just gets saved as Stuart Nicole also is a very, very high level. He's gone to decision with Lewis Roca and been choked out for Jesus Aguilar. I can see us being finished pretty quickly inside probably round 1. I don't see a lot of these fights really making it that far, and definitely not many decisions on the card. And we will finish up by going with Tommy McMillan under 1.5. That more comes from Manolo Zaccagni just not being very good. Like, he's with Jackson Wink, and fair enough, and all those others. Just his only fight is nearly 3 years ago. American Sharia hit him with one body kick and he absolutely folded like a deck chair. And yeah, he's beaten nobodies. Again, this is one that I just can't see make it out of the first round. Tommy McMillan obviously done really, really well in the Contender Series, won the majority decision, but again, he's been able to choke people out inside the first round all around the regional scene. It's not against high level competition, but again, I don't think Sokoli has any ground game at all, so I think a choke is very, very likely there. At 5-8, I'm going to have to take it. And we'll move down to the underdogs. Now again, there's only 2 underdogs because this card is horrendous for odds. If anyone thinks I'm running through this, or I maybe didn't do the research, you can try and pick what you want if you want on the night. You leave some comments if you do watch this, because it's fucking impossible. I've tried my hardest and this is why this has taken so long. So we'll just go with Tavadorici, as I said. I thought Jareen Georgiova looked absolutely fucking terrible inside her title fight. She got out grappled, she looked slow, she looked sluggish. The main reason Tavadorici isn't a lock is because I'm still not sure about grappling. To be 100% honest, it's a bit of a weird one, but she has the striking. King Callum Walsh has been able to kill the striking with her and get her a lot better. I can see her being able to scrape out a decision here for 29-28, and I will pick down Chris Duncan for sub at 8-1. I think that's some crazy odds. I think he has the sweetest guillotine in the UFC once he locks that in, because again, he does the whole Lincoln arm thing. You're not going to be able to get out of it. Money Moicano obviously only has 7 losses, but I think when you lose a decision to Bale Dariush, didn't look good, and then obviously he's been choked out by, is Makachev, obviously, the one against Boan Saint Denis. I think if that was to go ahead, I still believe Boan Saint Denis would have finished him. I kind of gassed very easily, and Julian Turner knocked him down and tried to walk off KO him. Other than that, in his last 4, I just don't think Money Moicano has done anything of note. I think he's looked poor in a lot of his fights. I think he's looked slow, he's looked sluggish. Time has caught up with him. Probably taking that title fight didn't really help, but again, I can see Chris Duncan being able to lock in that guillotine and get this done. At 8-1, I'm going to have to take it. And anyways, yeah, that's going to be the video, and this has been 9 minutes, because again, I have to say, this is the worst odds I've seen on a UFC card. If you want to try and pick someone, or maybe you think I haven't tried my best here, you're wrong. I genuinely spent nearly a week trying to work on this card, and it's fucking impossible. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, the Yaka actually pays about 62 quid off a tenner. Obviously I can't show it, but it's about 5.5 to 1. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button or hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.